Hi, welcome to Spec Hunter. Today, we're talking about the next generation of the MacBook Air, what upgrades we can expect, and when Apple might finally put an OLED display inside it. But before we get into that, let's quickly look at where. We are with the MacBook Air right now. The current model is the M4 MacBook Air. And ever since the M1 version arrived a few years ago, many people have considered the Air the best value MacBook you can buy. The starting price is $999, but you can often find it cheaper. Amazon and Best Buy sometimes drop it to $850. And during big sales like Black Friday, it has even gone for $800. At that price, it's an exceptional deal for the performance you get. Inside, it has Apple's M4 chip, which offers up to a 10-core CPU. This is made up of 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores, giving you a balance of power and energy savings. The base model comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you can upgrade to 32 gigabytes if you need more. Storage starts at 256 gigabytes, but you can go as high as 2 terabytes. You can choose between 13-inch and 15-inch sizes. And Apple even introduced a new sky blue color, which has been well received. But of course, everyone wants to know what's next. What will change in the M5 MacBook Air, and will OLED finally arrive? The bad news is that the M5 MacBook Air will not have an OLED display. That upgrade is still years away, and I'll explain why later. The main improvement in the M5 will be the new chip inside. It's expected to have a 10-core CPU again, with the same 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores. Though there might be a lower bin version with slightly fewer cores, the GPU might see the biggest leap. The M1 started with an 8-core GPU. The M2 increased it to 10, and it has stayed there through the M3 and M4. The M5 could finally bring a 12-core GPU, which would boost graphics performance noticeably. This would be a welcome change for anyone who edits videos, plays games, or uses graphics-heavy apps. Another possible change is the base storage. Right now, it's 256 gigabytes, which fills up quickly once you account for macOS in your files. Apple could finally raise the minimum to 512 gigabytes. This would make the base model far more usable without upgrading. RAM, however, is unlikely to change. Apple just raised the standard to 16 gigabytes with the M4, and they usually keep memory upgrades spaced out over several years. Pricing will likely remain the same. Expect the 13-inch to start at $999 and the 15-inch at a higher but similar price to the current generation. Discounts will almost certainly appear within a few months of launch, just like we've seen with past models. Retailers like Amazon and Best Buy will probably offer them for less, especially during sales. When will it be released? According to reliable reports from Mark Gurman, the M5 MacBook Air is targeted for spring 2026. That means sometime between March and May. There's a chance it could launch alongside the next MacBook Pro models. Now, let's address OLED. The MacBook Pro is set to get it first, likely by the end of 2026, since the Pro is Apple's higher-end model. It gets major display upgrades before the Air. This means the M5 MacBook Air will not have OLED in 2026. It also probably won't appear in 2027 before OLED comes to the Air. Apple is planning a different display upgrade. This could be a nano-textured LED panel or possibly a mini-LED display, maybe even with promotion for smoother motion. Reports suggest this could happen in a couple of years, and it would be a noticeable step up in quality. Only after that upgrade would Apple move to OLED for the MacBook Air. Unfortunately, the latest leaks suggest OLED for the Air could be delayed until around 2029. That's 3.5 to 4 years after the Pro gets it. While that's a long wait, it fits Apple's slow rollout strategy. They often reserve new features for the Pro models first and then bring them to the regular models years later. We've seen this before with promotion on the iPhone. It came to the iPhone 13 Pro in 2021, but won't reach the standard iPhone models until the iPhone 17 in 2025. A full 4 years later, the positive side is that the Air could still get a better display before OLED thanks to this new LED technology. It should improve brightness, contrast, and refresh rates. If you want old sooner, your only choice will be the MacBook Pro once it launches with it in late 2022 For the next MacBook Air, the key changes are likely to be the M5 chip, possibly, with a stronger GPU, more base storage, and the same thin, fanless design. Prices should stay the same, and discounts will make it an even better deal a few months after release. Old is still a long way off, but other display improvements may come sooner. Are you planning to wait for old, or will you upgrade when the M5 launches? The spring 2026 release isn't that far away, and for most people, the performance and storage improvements will be enough reason to upgrade. For those holding out for old, patience will be key. That's everything we know so far about the future of the MacBook Air. If you enjoyed this update, please like the video. Subscribe for more Apple news, reviews, and comparisons, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the latest updates. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.